Hello, uh, greetings from Accra, Ghana. Wherever you're watching from, I pray that you are well. I pray that everything is going great for you, your family, and those who are dear to you. I just want to formally introduce myself because I have been posting some videos about a project that I'm currently undertaking here in Accra, Ghana. And I think people are maybe getting interested in it. So I think it's only right to just try and do things more in a formal way. Uh, I really didn't set out to to post anything on YouTube uh, because personally I wasn't really looking to build. Just a little bit of my background. I was born here in Ghana. I left Ghana when I was 13. My parents were already in the UK, so I left Ghana and I joined them over there. For those who, have had, have a similar story, you know how these things can be. So I went to school in the UK. Uh, you know, um, uh, you know, uh, School, college, university, all in the UK. And when I finished, I worked in the uh, water testing and food testing laboratories, because I got interested in microbiology. So that is what I was doing for a couple of years. I'm also a believer in God. I'm a Christian. Not only that, I'm also a pastor. So I just, everything in my life has been God, up until this stage. And so God has just been ordering my steps for a very long time, even before, I would even get that understanding. I just know that God has been with me every step along the way. So I've traveled around, the world literally. But here it is that now I find myself in Ghana. I didn't plan to be here. Not, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just didn't see myself coming back home, relatively at this young age to come and settle. But I believe that it has been a wonderful, wonderful journey so far. Been in Ghana now for maybe 5 years plus. I got married here in Ghana, and we have two wonderful kids. My daughter's 11, and my son is going to be 5 in December. And so, when I first came to Ghana, because I didn't plan on staying for long, I wasn't really, trying to get anywhere to stay. When I had friends, family. But as time went on, I realized that I became comfortable. But this was even really during the time of the whole doomsday stuff and water issues. But with the generator and with the polytank, you can avert those things. So I was renting a place somewhere in East Legon, and just paying rent in dollars. And I remember my family were like, "Listen, you're just wasting money. Why don't you move in and then save your money?" Well, long story short, when I met my wife to be at that time, I said, "Okay, you know, um, you know, uh, looks like I might have to think of settling in Ghana." And so between myself and her, we had plans, and obviously without any type of experience in land acquisition, the process began. And one thing I must say is that I'm so thankful to God, because when we were looking for land, I remember one of my old schoolmates. I went to a school called St. Anthony's School, St. Anthony's Primary School, in Latabiokoshi. So that's where I grew up. So one of my friends whom I went to school with, in talking to him, he said, what, don't do anything, when it comes to land. Don't give anybody any money. One of our teachers at the time was working at Lands Commission. So I remember I went to see him. I didn't see him for years. And he told me that don't make any mistake by giving anybody money. Whenever anybody tells you that they have land, come and see me. I will do the checks for you. Then you will know whether it's legit or it's not legit. And so I follow this instruction. So anytime somebody will try and, get me interested, I'll get the documentation, I'll send it to him. And he say, Albert, don't do it. This land is full of, litigation. Because one thing he told me is that because he works there, he said, listen, Accra land, most of it has some type of issue one way or the other with it. Now, what just now, I also want to, put this in. My parents, when I came to Ghana, they're retired, so lived in the UK for many years. My dad, was a teacher. My mom had her own business, but they just retired. They're now living in Ghana, and where they're living now, they bought the land. Well, the story is that my father's family member literally scammed him. You know how things were back then. So he was sending money to buy land in East Legon. This was before East Legon got developed, not knowing that family members, an uncle, was not buying the land. So when my father came many years later to, say, hey, where's my land? What's going on? Then he found out that they had scammed him, family. So in the end, they had to settle for some land in that Pokwase, Kuntunsi side. And so that's where my parents, got land there and they built. You would think everything is fine. Everything went through the right channels. My father is all about doing everything right. Well, just a couple of years ago, they saw some notices on all the houses in the area. Even an excavator was brought into the area. Why? Because apparently somebody else from the family that sold that land to all the people in the area had taken the case to court and had won some family dispute. Literally, what the court was saying was that whoever sold the land initially was not the rightful owner. So now this new one, won, and now everybody had to rebuy their land again. This is what I'm saying. So, you hear of horror stories growing up in the UK. You hear people who were sending money. This was before all this social media stuff, came out. So they were sending money, and then when they were told that the house has been, done, they will come back to Ghana and there's nothing. Folk even died. you know. So I was very cautious when it came to land. And so we have a family friend, again, lived in the UK, back in Ghana, but he's very streetwise. He knows all the right things to do. So when it came to land, we handed it over to him. And he was able to direct us with everything that we have to do paperwork wise. So that is how, we were able to get this land that we you see when you watch the videos, you see where we've been building. But even that, there were still some challenges because, and I'm going to try and do, short videos because I don't want to bore you. Even with that, during the COVID time, we got a call that we need to quickly come to our land. Why? Well, somebody was encroaching on the land. There were footings. You know how Ghana do all these containers, and somebody had been cutting it up and selling it. So we had to quickly go there. When we got there, I have some clips of it that I'm going to share with you. They had done some footings in there. There was a market, a full-blown market on our land. I have a brother-in-law who doesn't take nonsense. So he just showed up there and did some moves. And that was the last time we heard of the people that were, that had encroached on our land. But even with that, there was a battle for at least a couple of days. They don't have no rights. Whoever set up the market has no right to anything, doesn't own land in it, just decided to take, encroach on the land. So that forced us to go there, during the COVID time to really start engaging, the land and, putting up a fence wall. When you haven't really budgeted for these things, but we had to move quickly. So that's what we did. And, the journey began. So we have, or I have one plot, so that is the side where the market was encroaching on, and then I also have 1.5 plot on another side in the same area. So where you see the house being built is on the 1.5 plot side. So that is where the building is taking place. So you can imagine I didn't know anything about construction, anything about building, nothing. So initially, I must say that the workers, masons, and the laborers and whoever that was working there really took advantage of me because I didn't know much. But as time went on, I began to indulge myself, especially YouTube. I watched some videos of folk who've been building in Ghana, in Accra. Some of the names that comes to me, this couple called Asha and God, they're from the UK. There's also a lady called, is it the Natural Girl, again from the UK, and then a few others. There's another one called Bright and Clara. There's a few others, and they would tell you, they would advise you from their experience. When you watch their videos, you see what they're doing. So I have a notebook. I began to write things down, and if I don't understand something, I will go, Google it, research about it, and learn. And so I began to plan for the different stages of the building process. Now, sometimes you have to wait till the end of the month. You work out your calculations, the monies that come in, and then you will know what to do. So I've just been doing it in stages without rushing. Because listen, let me advise you, even if you have money, try to slow down. You know why? Because at every stage, it's good to take a back seat. Look at what has happened. Let even somebody else take a look at it, and then when you're satisfied, then you move to the next stage. So there's no need to rush, because I learned a great deal. You will notice that there is a bitumen paint that was applied on my foundation. I learned that. I researched about it watching YouTube. And then you will see the damp membrane that I used. Normally people just use this black rubber. Most time, these rubbers split when the concrete is poured on it. And what you will have eventually is damp that will be rising from the ground, because there's water in the ground, and it will start rising up on your wall. Before you realize it, after sometimes even after 6 months, when you're finishing building, or you see when the paint starts peeling, is because there's water. Then now you're gonna have to spend more money treating it. So I took my time to do a lot of background research and homework. And even though some of the stuff was expensive, I didn't mind buying it, because what just now, I'm trying to make sure, when I say what just now, that's the preacher side coming out of me, that I don't have any problems when I'm done. Okay. So that is how I began to, develop a passion for building, and looking at the different stages and what it entails. And that is how I've got into this stage. And so this is just, I don't want to take too much of your time. This is just a little introduction. The next couple of videos, you're going to be seeing the cost breakdown of the different stages. Okay. And if there's any battles or challenges that I've experienced or encountered, I will let you know. Okay. Some of the tricks that you need to look out for. Okay. Some of the things that you need to be aware of, and even some things that you can buy and just keep if you have a storage place. For instance, cement you can't really buy and keep, because after a couple of days it starts going hard. But there are some things, especially now that prices have just gone up. There are some things. So once again, I just like to say thank you for taking the time out to watch the previous videos, and I'm going to try my best to give you content, okay, as often as I can. For those of you that are planning to build, listen to me, don't be intimidated, don't be fearful, For those of you who are building, for those of you who have a project and family members or even friends or even companies, have disappointed you, listen to me. The Bible says that except the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain, those that build. Don't use your own strength to build. Apologies. That's just the witness. Listen, don't build in your own strength. Okay? Don't do that. Let God, and listen to me, don't allow whatever negativity which has taken place cause you to give up on your dream. The devil is a liar. You will build that house, you will finish that house. Anybody who is speaking negative, especially those of you that are abroad, anybody who is taking advantage, may they be exposed to you so that you will know who they are. Amen. And so, what is now? I'm here. Listen, if you need any help, any type of support, just reach out to me. Okay? And anything that I can do to help you, I'm more than willing to do it. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. God bless you.